Hello, thank you for joining me today. This is Artful with Michelle. Today I'm going to be painting Baby Owl in the Moonlight, and my plate and paper towel are a little messy because this is actually take 2 on this. Technical difficulties, so I am redoing this. So today I'm using an 8 by 8 inch stretched primed canvas and acrylic, student grade acrylic paints, and I'll go over the colors. My brushes are going to be a 1 inch flat, a 1/2 inch flat, a 6 inch round. You might want to have a white pencil handy if you have one. I'm also going to use a bristle brush that's a little bit worn and stiff for the moon. So the colors today are Phthalo Blue, Mars Black, Green Oxide, Violet, and White. I'm also going to be using Dragonfly Glaze over the water. And let me get a little bit more violet out. That is a FolkArt product that I found and introduced on one of my previous videos. I love it. It looks great. It adds a little bit of sparkle. And it looks like this. It's called Dragonfly Glaze, and this one, it's a color changing top coat, and this one is a violet blue green shift. It's pretty cool. I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to start by painting 2/3 of the way down with a mix of black and phthalo blue, running the brush in a horizontal motion. Get this on there as quickly for you as I can. And again, I want to be about 2/3 of the way down. Sometimes you have to kind of swoosh it to get it down into the little valleys of your canvas and then immediately smooth it out. All right. I am going to rinse that brush, and I'm going to mix up some green oxide with phthalo blue, and I'm going to be making kind of like a teal with that. So I'm going to grab some phthalo blue, some of the green, and let's see what that's looking like. Perfect. That is just what I'm looking for. And I'm going to make horizontal strokes. I'm going to do this part quickly for you. And we're just going to go back and forth with that. And as I come down, I'm going to add a little bit of black to the bottom. Get that brushed in. And kind of back up into the teal and down again. Okay, perfect. And go up just a little bit higher to the sky. Okay. All right. So now you might want to take a moment to dry that a little bit or let it dry a little, and then we'll start adding some white highlight to it. We do get a bit of a glare using these dark colors, but I'll try to lift this so that it doesn't really affect how you see everything there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change to my 1/2 inch flat, and I'm going to start adding a little bit of white to the top of the water. So I'm going to put a little teal in my brush, and I'm going to grab just a little bit of the white, and I'm going to excuse me, to add it to the water. And I'm going to blend it a little bit. Okay, try to get that as straight as you can. And then take a moment to blow dry that. Okay, now that it's dry, we can add a little bit more highlight to the water. And rinse my brush a bit, grab some more white, And I'm just going to skim a little bit here and there at the top of the water. This area is where I'm going to put the moon. So I'm going to definitely want to highlight right in this area. And I'm going to bring it down in here. And we'll keep going in and brightening that a little bit as the white kind of dries and fades into the water a bit. So I want to get the top just a little bit brighter where that moon will be shining down on the water. Okay, cool. Let's bring it right down. Okay, so now we're going to add some trees. I'm just going to freehand it, but if you would like to sketch in, I'll sketch a little bit for you. So we want to have a tree down in this vicinity and we're going to bring them down and let the roots kind of meet in the middle. And then another one over here coming down. Okay, that'll give you a general idea. Then as we come up, we're going to have the branches go up into the night sky. So I'm going to grab the same brush, 1/2 inch flat, and I'm going to start taking a mix of the different colors. So I'm going to take some phthalo blue and some white and a little bit of violet, mix them together, and I'm going to start brushing a tree shape. Use a lot of the darker blue in here also. A little bit of black. I like the corners to stay a little bit darker in a picture like this. I'm going to come up. Now, when you do a tree, if you think about the branches as kind of reaching up toward the sky, that might help you. So we're going to come out and we're going to branch up and up toward the sky. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to have the main portion of the tree coming up. And in here, I'm going to create some branches. So here, let's make this branch thicker here where it comes out of the tree. And here we're going to just make that the back side of the tree. I'm going to grab a little bit of green, a little bit of blue, a little bit of violet, and just kind of thicken up that trunk there, make it a little brighter. And right here, I'm going to have another branch that's reaching up toward the sky. Here we go. Okay. So I want my branches and my tree to be definitely brighter at the center and darker on the outsides because we're going to have a moon here and I want it to look like the moon is illuminating the tree. So we're going to go ahead and make the tree just a little bit brighter. So I'm going to turn this sideways so I can come in and start adding a little bit of white, which I'm going to blend into my tree. Just a little bit. Grab a little tiny bit more. And maybe touch it on your paper towel a little bit so you don't have too much paint on your brush when you come to the canvas. We can always come back in. We're going to want to add more most likely after we get our moon in there and we see where everything's going to sit in relation to the tree in the sky. Okay, so that's a good start right there on that tree. And I'm going to create the other tree on the right hand side the same way with some violet and blue and a little white. And we're going to start brushing that in. And I would recommend that you use the color you like the best. If you love a lot of violet, then by all means, here, use more violet. Okay. This is going to be a little bit more like a snippet video, a little bit quicker for you than the norm. Alright, let's get some black down in these corners, which will then blend into the tree. Okay, so we need to create a tree over here also. We want to end up making this look like a little alcove that you could almost step into. That's the illusion that we want. So I'm going to mix some blue and green and get some teal in here. A bit of teal. And let's come up and out and over. I'm going to make it a little lighter by adding in some white. Okay. I also want to create a low branch that comes out and comes out over the water. So we're going to keep that in mind. Okay, I want to grab some black in the tree on the sides. Okay. Now we want to envision where we would bring another branch that would come out low to set a baby owl on. So I want to create the moon first, and that's going to help you decide where you want to put everything else. So we're going to grab this little scruffy brush and grab some white. We're going to wipe it off on our towel so it's pretty much dry, like dry brush. And I'm going to start rubbing this brush in a circular motion. Okay, I don't want to make it too big, but I do want to have a little glow around the moon. So I'm going to get my brush and make it just, I'm going to dabble, make it just a little bit brighter there in the middle. And then just kind of lightly scrub it. Scrub it. And pounce a little bit. Alright, so we have our moon and we have a little bit of a glowing halo around it. And now we want to create a branch that's going to come in and stretch out under that moon. So we can have our little owl sitting on the branch. So we're going to grab some blue and some purple, violet, purple, maybe just a little white so you can see where I'm going with this. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to make a low branch that comes out of this tree and kind of stretches up and out. I'm going to keep mixing my colors on my plate, and I'm going to add in some teals and some purples and just have fun with this. Okay. Now, just like on the other side, we are going to want this tree to be brighter by adding white on the parts of the tree that are closest to the moon. I'm going to keep adding little bits of white. Alright, so this branch needs to have it on the bottom because that's closest to the moon. So we're going to add some white. And this one will have it up on the top because that's what's closest to the moon. Okay, then we're going to create some branches that come off of this tree. So when you do branches, I usually tell my students to think of the letter V. So at the end of the branch, I want to extend another branch that comes off of it, but I definitely don't want it to be the same length. So I made it longer and I made it intersect the other branch. And then from here, I'm going to create another one that's a little bit longer. So that's kind of where your V comes in. Okay. And then maybe here, we'll create another one. And again, the moon is up on top. So we're going to make this branch just a little brighter at the top. Come in and brighten this one. We'll just keep adding some white. All right, that's looking really good. I am liking that a lot. Let's go ahead and keep adding a little more white here and there on our brightest areas. The brighter we make the bright areas, the more depth and dimension we end up with in this little painting. Okay, so let's add a few more branches to this tree. I'm going to turn this a little bit, and I want to create a branch that comes up and off and maybe reaches up skyward. Let's make it a little bit brighter on the bottom. All right. So cute. All right. Let's rinse our brush a little bit. And let's add a little bit more highlight to this water. With the same brush, I'm going to get some white. Tip this so you can see it a little better. And right in here, right where the moon is, I'm going to bring down some bright highlight. And we really, really want to make this area down here super bright. Make it look like that moonlight is really hitting it. And I would suggest that you just keep coming back and adding more and more of that highlight. You're going to see it kind of disappear and fade into the background as it dries. I'm going to make a little branch here. There we go. Cool. All right, how are we looking? All right, let's draw a little owl. I'm just going to paint it in black. So I'm going to take my number 6 round brush, and right here I want him to be on the branch. So I'm going to create a little body. And then the head, just going to be round, and the ears kind of just come up from the side of the head like a little angle, sticking straight up. Alright, and then I want to give him kind of a feathery look. So I'm going to take this little brush, roll it, and I'm going to come out and just give him some little hairs. Zoom that in for you. Let's see. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Just going to give him some little hairs, like he's a big, big, hairy owl. Let's make some little hairs. So I suggest you start your owl a little bit smaller than you think you want it, because it will grow as you paint it. So there it is, sitting on the branch in the moonlight. I'm going to soften this area right here with a little bit more head. There, I like that better. Okay, so he's a little fluffy owl. He's sitting on that branch. That branch is really right under the moon, so we want to come in and make that branch super bright. Maybe not so much right under the owl, but right where it touches the moon. We want it super bright. Put a little bit of white under there. Right in through here, super bright. A lot of paint here. I want to take some of that away. Okay, super cute. So now I want to make some little leaves. I'm going to back that back out for you. Okay, so I'm going to use this round brush, and I'm going to use different colors here on my palette. So I'm going to use some of the violet with some phthalo blue. I like those two colors together. And then a little bit of white. And I'm just going to come in and use this little brush to just press some little leaves on this here and there. So I like clusters of 3 a lot. And I'm going to add a little bit more white too. We'll come back in and we'll just add little highlights here and there. But I really, really like the violet in this with the blue mix. So I dip in my violet, I dip in my blue, grab just a little white maybe, and just come in and add some leaves. Now, you don't have to have a branch really attaching itself to the leaves. You can just put them out there and have a little bit of fun. It's whimsy. It's like kind of like a fantasy picture, so we can just have fun with it. I'm going to do a lot of purple and navy, the phthalo blue, and I'm going to also add a lot of teal to this. I like the purple a lot because I feel like it almost looks like it's glowing in this painting. So we'll get some over here. I'm going to come back also and add highlights to the leaves that are closest to the moon. And let's get a few teal ones in there. So I'm going to leave this blue and purple in my brush. And I'm going to grab some more blue and some green. And in order to really see what that's looking like, you might have to add a little bit of white. You could add a little purple to it too. A little bit more green. I like to have the different colors on the brush like that, and maybe tip in just a little white. And as we go to our painting, we're going to add some teal. So I'm adding like little clusters. I like clusters of 3, but I also want to do some other shapes, not just necessarily clusters of 3. Just going to come and add them in, put a lot of leaves up here. Super cute. I'm going to turn it around so I can pull the brush in the direction that's most comfortable for me. Adding some more of the green. Green and blue and white. You can put as many leaves on these trees as you'd like. Okay, so let's get some leaves here. Leaves here. And step back. I usually recommend kind of stepping back a little bit and taking a look at your creation and then deciding where you want to add. There. I don't have much here under the owl, so I want to add some little leaves there. And I think I'm going to go with some teal. So I'm going to turn it this way so I can make my little leaves right here. Okay. All right. Let's rinse our brush a little bit and go and add some white. Wherever the leaves are closest to the moon, we'll come in and we'll add a little bit of white. So here and here. Okay. Just really help pop them a little bit. Give them the reflection, the highlight. Okay. Definitely the ones that are closest to the moon, we want to get some white on those to make them look like they're lit by the moon. How cute is that little guy? Okay. I really like that a lot. Okay, so I'm going to grab some more white. I'm going to come in and I'm going to brighten my tree here and there. I'm going to lay the white there and then I'm just going to rub, dry brush, rub it into the tree. Okay. The branches, under the branches that are closest to the moon. Alright, I think that's looking good. Add a little bit more to the tree. So we want to get more in the water. Wet my brush a little bit. And strengthen that shine. And I'm going to bring this highlight up a little higher. Add a little bit of violet to it. Super cute. Just playing, adding some colors here and there. I really like the violet in there a lot. And I'm going to put a little bit more on this side. Okay. Alright, really cute. So, the neat thing with this is that we're going to add the Dragonfly Glaze. So we want to make sure that this is good and dry. So if it isn't dry, go ahead and take a moment to dry it. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of this Dragonfly Glaze and I'm going to just put one coat on this. I'm going to drop a little bit directly onto my canvas. And I'm going to take a brush, a flat, clean brush that I had handy, and I'm just going to brush on the water only. I'm not going to put it on the tree right now. You could put this over the entire painting if you wanted. It's really cool, but you know what? I want to accentuate the glimmer in the water. Turn it upside down so I can get down in here. Alright, super cute. I hope you can see how pretty that is. Now if you wanted to, you could certainly cover the entire canvas with it. And I also will cover all my sides with black. So off camera, I will come in and I will paint all these edges a really nice solid black and make sure it's all nice and finished. But this is the adorable little baby owl in the moonlight. Or he's not really a baby. I think he's a big fluffy owl. Super cute. Let's do one other thing before I consider this one done. Let's take a little bit of white and let's just put a little highlight on the owl at the top. I don't want much, just a little tiny bit. All right. Super cute. Okay, remember to put your initials in the corner of your painting. I usually just put MM for my name. And you know, when you give a little gift or something, it's so nice to have your initials in the corner. All right. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this quick little video today. Go ahead and hit the like button if you'd like, and subscribe to my channel to see more of my upcoming fun and whimsical designs. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.